Hey guys, Mark here. It's been a while since my last video, and truthfully, I've been busy on other projects. I've taken on some other sort of big things, so I don't have a lot of time for videos. So I will be slowing it down, but I do want to check in from time to time and just let you know how I'm doing and continue my video blog, basically, of my journey here in trading. Trading is going very well. I'm up to over 350 or so dollars a day, on my way to 725. That's my ultimate goal. But let me tell you what happened. Um, so a friend of mine who's been doing some prop trading is like, Mark, aren't you doing any prop trading? I've always thought it was kind of a scam or something like that because the idea that you can just go in and start trading somebody else's money like a hedge fund, that just seemed really weird. I had to learn a little about it. My friend has been doing it for about 9 months, and he's like, no, it's legit. They're paying, and he gets paid every month very well. So I thought, okay, I'll try it. So I went with Apex. Now, for those of you who do this prop trading, they're the largest of these companies, and that's what my friend has been trading. So I thought, okay, I'll try it. Now, to explain a little bit, this is how it works. Basically, you pay a certain amount each month. These amounts down here, although usually there's like 80% coupons, that sort of thing. I'm not selling anything, by the way. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. I'm just explaining this. And you can choose from one of these accounts. If you choose, say, for example, a $100,000 account, then they will give you $100,000 of fake money, basically. It's a fake simulated account. And you need to reach $6,000 before you hit the trailing threshold of minus $3,000. Now that threshold moves. So if you make 5,000, you still can only lose 3,000. If you hit, if you make it up to 105,000 and you go back to 102,000, you've blown the account and you disqualify. So the idea here is to qualify, and you can use any method you like during the qualification. And then once you pass, you start trading the same thing, except now it's funded. That is, if you hit your target, they will pay you 90% of that amount. And that's what sounded so crazy to me, like this can't be real, right? And still part of me is saying, this really can't be real. And I guess we'll find out. But my friend is getting paid. He's been getting paid the last 8 months. I did pass um, my first two evaluation accounts. So I've got a 25,000 and $100,000 account that I just passed. So that means I'll be trading for the money now. And when I hit my targets on you can see on a $25,000 account, it's fairly easy. You need to get $1,500. You need to make $1,500 before losing $1,500. And again, that trailing threshold follows you up as you go. If I hit that, they will pay me 90% of what I've made. So in this case, 90% of 1,500. And on the 1,000, I need to get to on this 100,000 here. I need to get to 6,000, 106,000 before losing 3,000, and then they will pay me 90% of that. So sounds too good to be true. We will see. I've heard a lot of different things about Apex, but I'm trying it out. So I'll let you know how that goes. So at this point, I'm not recommending Apex or prop trading in general. I'm just evaluating it for myself. I'll let you know how it goes. If it turns out to be a scam, I'll let you know. And I'm not affiliated or selling any or don't have any coupon codes or anything like that. So getting back to trading, when we left off, here was my line, my trend line, and I said anything above the trend line, I've got to go long, even though I felt strongly that news based and everything else was pointing south. I said, look, in the end, you got to follow the trends. And so above this white line, we are long. Now we had several days of a good run of long, and then it started to come down. So you can interpret this a couple different ways. Is this just a downswing as a part of an uptrend? I think so. There's nothing to say right now that we're going to go into a downtrend. So I'm going to continue to be long until now. If we get back below the 20, which is the yellow line, and below all these candles here, then we can start to look again at shorting. But right now, the market just appears to be hot despite all the news. And we'll cover the news here in a second. But the trend is up. And we did have some good news coming out yesterday, Friday, on the jobs report. And the jobs report was very solid. So now I don't know if this is just pre-election manipulation or whatever. A lot of people are saying that. I don't know. Right now, though, jobs numbers look good. The economy looks good overall. Um, by the numbers, if you ask people, it's a different thing, right? Like they can't afford to go to the grocery store and that kind of thing. But by the numbers, the jobs reports, it looked good. So that's where we're at in terms of long or short on the major market. As far as the geopolitical news that's out there, unless you've been living under a rock, it's pretty bad. It really is. We've got Israel basically bombing Lebanon now. Iran is more involved, and Israel's threatening to counter against all the missile strikes that Iran put on Israel. I mean, it's just expanding. It's expanding. Everything that we hoped would not happen is happening, and again, nothing. There's nothing I can see that's going to slow this down immediately. So again, stocks don't seem to care about this kind of stuff, but in general, they have to care if it gets to a certain point. So there's that. There's also, of course, we had a big Katrina-like disaster unfolds in North Carolina and Florida. It's pretty upsetting when you read the stories about what's going on there. As far as the Russia-Ukraine war is going, I mean, folks, if you just read a little bit, if you read into this, Russia is winning this war. There's no way Ukraine is going to win. It seems like the news media and the politicians are pretending as if we're winning or doing something there. I don't know what the end game is, but Russia will win this, and it's just a matter of how much territory will they take? Will they stop in eastern Ukraine? Probably, but how will NATO react to this? I mean, the headline here is why Europe's leadership wants war. This I don't understand this, so I'm not going to say too much more about it. It's very dangerous. If we start throwing missiles into Russia, eventually Russia will respond to NATO. So again, hoping none of this comes to pass, but it hasn't gotten any better over the last few weeks. It has gotten worse across the board. But let's take one more look at the stocks and precious metals market because the market doesn't. However, one thing that does care about all this news is silver and gold. They have been on a tear. Take a look at silver here, just getting ready to break out here. Looks like it did for a moment and then poked back in. So again, like I've been saying for the last few months, I continue to accumulate anything under 30. So any dip below 30 for me is a buy, and I think my first stop will be 35. So it won't be selling anything until at least we reach that. And that's not where I think it'll go or end. That's just my first stop. I'll have to reevaluate when we get there. Gold is even stronger because gold is considered more of a pure currency or pure money, while silver is more industrial based. So gold has not stopped going down. It's broken record after record after record, and here we are again threatening to break another record. So I will continue to accumulate there as long as the news and the markets tell me to do so. Another thing I've been accumulating lately is oil. Now, oil is kind of a mixed bag because you have, on one hand, I believe the economy is slowing, although the latest numbers, to be fair, are not indicating any kind of slowdown right now, any major slowdown. It's obviously slowing, but not in a major way. It's slowing enough for the Fed to feel comfortable to lower those interest rates, but it is not crashing. And because the economy is slowing, that brings the price of oil down, and it has. You can see here it's gone from the 80s down to 65, and now we've popped back up to 75. Well, what's making it pop up? Well, we get these bits and pieces of news, economic data that jobs are still good and the economies of the world are still growing, and so that's going to increase oil on the demand side. However, on the supply side, we have these wars. Who are the largest producers of oil? Russia, Iran, all of these countries that are involved in turmoil right now. And so that is pushing the price of oil higher. I have been accumulating oil both in terms of the futures and in terms of companies like Shell and Exxon and so on, companies that pay out a nice dividend and I can just hold them a long time. So that's my strategy there. I'll continue to watch that carefully. Anything can happen. I mean, if this war expands even more, or if Israel has been threatening to bomb some of Iran's oil production sites, and if they do that, yeah, you can see this thing spike up all across Europe. Nobody will be happy about that. So I don't know if they'll do that, but they are threatening. They have threatened to retaliate against Iran in the very near future. So it could be this weekend, could be this week. We don't know. We don't know what they're going to attack. Will they attack the nuclear facilities? Will they attack the oil facilities? Who knows? So I'm keeping an eye on that, and I am bullish on oil right now. Oh, and did I mention that we have a contentious election coming up in like 28 days or something like that, which it's very tight, and there may be the possibility that it's too close to call in some areas and a lot of controversy and chaos. Yes, that's coming too. But as long as the trend is up, the trend is your friend. Let's take a look at that trend again. I mean, this just proves the point, doesn't it? I mean, you can't trade off these kind of geopolitical situations. And I'll tell you, learning to trade for these prop firms has been very eye-opening and very good for me as a trader because it forces me to trade very, very much short term. I don't even use this chart as a prop trader. I'm down to like the minute or the 2 minute chart, sometimes even the 30 seconds chart. So when I'm trading for them, the reason for that is in part they have a lot of rules. You can't hold past the close of the market. You have to refresh every day. You have to put in stops and limit orders. There are a lot of rules. There's no averaging in or dollar cost averaging on trades. So for me, everything is a very, very short term technical trade. I take these little moves up and these little moves down, and that's all I do. So it takes a lot of focus. I do this at night because I work in the day, and I do this early in the morning. Just 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night. Doesn't leave much time for videos and other things, but so far it's been pretty exciting. And if this really is real, this would be a way for me to generate a lot more income because you can have up to 20 accounts, and the highest account I think is 300,000. So you can, in theory, you can trade like $6 million. Um, and if they really do pay you out, then you can make a lot of money. But again, we will see. Right now, I'm just taking my time. A lot of people, when they approach these accounts, they just go crazy and they start buying these evaluation accounts and they blow them out really quickly. I started to do that my first day or two, and I'm like, wait a minute, I might as well trade these accounts as if they are real money and get in that mindset. And so that's what I've been doing. So I've been going slower than some people, but again, I passed 2 evaluation accounts. Now I'm trading for the real thing here, and I'll let you know what happens. Anyway, that's my update. I'm sorry it took me so long to get this catch up video out there, but hope you guys are doing great. And I'll be back with another video. Like I said, I'm not going to be posting every day anymore because I'm just hugely busy. But I will keep you posted on the accounts and how we're doing. Thanks, everyone.